Hi, welcome to my guide for Irelia. In my opinion, Irelia is one of the strongest champions in the game because she's so hard to counter. She's both tanky and she deals DPS in the form of physical, magical, and most importantly, true damage. First, I'll talk about her skills, but before that, I'd like to say that I got these screenshots from League of Legends Wiki, which is a great community website that gives you a lot of information that you might want to know about the game. Her passive is called Ionian Fervor. It acts as built-in tenacity for her, and it stacks with Mercury Trace to give her up to 61% CC reduction. One thing you have to note about this is it only works for enemies in visible range, and therefore it won't work on invisible enemies or enemies in bushes. So you can't use this to bush check or invisible enemy check. Her Q spell is called Blade Surge. It has many uses including farming, closing the gap between you and your enemies, running away from enemies, or just dealing extra damage. Here I'll show you an example of using Q to farm. As you can see, the video quality isn't that great, but I'm using Q on each of the minions, and as I kill them with Q, the cooldown refreshes. As you can see, the last minion I kill was not killed by Q, but my auto attack, so the cooldown of my Q did not refresh. Here's a more realistic example of how to use Q to farm in the game. It's mostly used to get last hits that you would otherwise be unable to get with an auto attack. As you can see here, there's a large wave of my minions, so auto attacking is much harder than it usually is. So if I don't think I can get it, I use Q. This example shows how you might use Q to close distances to catch enemies by surprise. As you can see here, I see two minions at low HP that I can kill with one hit. So I Q through them and catch Annie by surprise and kill her. Sometimes you might have to use Q to escape rather than to kill. And in this video, I see Master Yi is chasing me and he uses his ult, but I can just Q to a minion and get a head start on him. Her next skill, which is her W skill, is called Hidden Style, or some people might say Heightened Style, but I prefer Hidden Style because, you're going to be hitting them, right? All jokes aside, the skill consists of a passive and an active. The passive is what gives Irelia such good sustain, because on every hit she restores a certain amount of health, and this includes any hit, including entire hits. So it's not lifesteal, it's just if you hit, you gain that much health. Hidden Style's active is what gives Irelia such great damage. This is because it deals true damage, which means that it's unreduced by anything, including armor as well as skills and spells such as Exhaust. Oh, and also her active works with her Q, so that means that when she uses Blade Surge, it applies the true damage as well. Here's a short video of using the passive to heal off of creeps. As you can see, as she hits each time, her health goes up just by a little bit, and it all adds up. And as I said before, you can also use it to heal off of towers. And as you can see, each hit I do here also gives her the same amount of health. Her E skill is called Equilibrium Strike. This is a single target spell with a short range. And the way this works is if you have the same amount of health as the opponent, or if you have lower health than the opponent, then you will stun them. And if you have higher health, then you will slow them. And it has a set duration depending on the level that the skill is in. So the first example is stunning with less HP. And it's pretty simple. If you have less HP, you use E on them and you stun them. And next, if you have the same amount of HP, which is full HP in this case, then you stun them as well. And finally, if you have more HP than them, and in this video it's kind of hard to see because it doesn't show that you slowed them, but the skill does go on cooldown. You see you have more HP, and as we're running, I use E on him, and it doesn't stun him, it just slows him. Okay, her last skill, which is her ultimate and R, is called Transcendent Blades. It's not the best ultimate, but it's okay, and it does its job. The way you use her ult is a bit complicated. Okay, so I'll explain it. The first thing you want to do is activate the skill by pressing R, and once you have it activated, you have 4 more chances to use it. And to use it 4 more times, you point your mouse in the direction that you want to shoot it, and you can point anywhere in a 360-degree radius around Irelia, which means that you can shoot it no matter where you're facing. Like if you're facing forward, you can shoot it right, or you can shoot it left. So point your mouse in the direction that you want to shoot it in, and shoot it 4 times, and after that it'll go on cooldown. Remember that you can attack and you can use skills while you are shooting it. Here's an example of how you might use your ult to farm creeps. Basically, just position yourself so that you hit as many of them as possible, and finish the rest off with your auto attacks. Your ult is a great tool for finishing off escaping enemies. If they're running away and you're out of range for all your other skills, then ignite them and use your ult to get 4 hits on them, and most of the time if they're at low HP, it kills them. And here's just a simple video showing how you can use your skills and attack while using your ult at the same time. And you would do this if you're fighting an enemy and you just want to get some extra DPS and heal using your ult. Here's the order in which I skill my abilities. First, I max hit and style because it's your main source of damage and sustain that you'll need. Then at level 2, I get 1 point in Blade Surge, and I don't max it because it costs more mana if you max it, and I want to be able to use it to farm and to chase whenever I need to. Then at level 3, I get Equilibrium Strike just to get a point in all the skills just in case you need it. And I max this after hit and style because the stun duration is increased, and I don't want to increase the mana cost for Blade Surge. And as usual, you get your ult whenever it's up. Thanks for watching. This was part 1 of my Irelia guide. This covered skills and skill sequences. I'll post a part 2, and once I get done with it, I'll add a link over here. It'll cover runes, masteries, and items, I think. And as usual, if you like this video, please thumbs up. If you have anything you want to say, just put a comment. And if you want more videos, then subscribe.